Hi guys, welcome back to DeFi Daily. Today we are going to talk about something pretty delicate because we are talking about the Fantom ecosystem, more specifically about the price of Fantom, and that, as you can see from the chart below, it is falling down and has gone down by 30% in just 2 days. I will explain to you why it is happening, because there is a specific reason related to all this selling pressure. That is also a big warning for the whole DeFi ecosystem, because what happened on Fantom can happen on any other chain. And this is something that I will explain exactly. What does it mean and why? Just before to start, guys, remember that this channel is about educational content and not financial advice. If you want to invest in anything, do it, but do always your own research also before. And remember, guys, if you want to also stay always updated, because some of these updates are quite time sensitive, remember to subscribe to the channel, and remember also to leave a big thumbs up and drop a comment. This is just a small effort for you, but something that means a lot to me and can really help many other people to retrieve this content, because this is how the algorithm of YouTube is working. Okay, guys, so let's start immediately. I want to start with the chart. And as I was telling you, just in the last couple of days, from here to here, the price has gone down about 35%. And this is obviously not the first down, because after 100 that happened around here, if I'm not wrong, the price has gone down by 70%. But if this first phase of the dump was just related to the 100 story, the second one is quite more complicated. Yesterday, I didn't have the time to stay on the chart and stay online because I had a couple of things to manage. But I received a message that was telling me, man, did you check what happened with Fantom? Because a lot is happening. And some of you, and I want to say thank you to you, because that's something that is really valuable for me, share with me this Reddit post that is telling that a person, Rush, deposits something like 50 million, used to be 90 million in the past, in FTM to Scream. Scream is a money market on a Fantom. What does it mean? It means that this person was leveraging his position using around 50 million as a collateral. I checked the wallet of this person, and this is the wallet. As you can see right now, he has something like 20 million. Going down, you will see that in the moment when we are checking screen, among the more than 50 million that he was used to have as collateral on Scream, right now only 12 of them has remained. Why? For the simple reason that he has been liquidated. And the reason why he has been liquidated is because he used his FTM to borrow several stables. As you can see here, you will find all the different stables that he was borrowing. On the other side, he invested this kind of stable coins to buy Solidly and they finance, so these two tokens. And the problem with these two tokens is that both of them are lockable tokens. And what he has decided to do is locking his tokens for 4 years, for the maximum long term. And what does it mean is that this amount, this 11 million, it was used to be more, because in the meantime the price of deals has gone down, and same story applies to Solidly. Both of them are locked, so he didn't have the opportunity anymore to take out them in order to sell them to repay this debt. What is impressive to me is that a so big wallet, because in any case we were talking about something like 70 million, 90 million, 100 million, a person that has so much money is deciding to be so exposed without having any way out, any exit strategy to repay his debt, even if any major happening is occurring. Because obviously in the moment when he decided to take this loan, the market situation was pretty different. If we weren't like here, we were with any probability up here, so a pretty big different story. And digging around through Twitter, I have found several people that are talking about this story. And I will tell you a couple of interesting stories and about different point of views about it. What I want to say before going on is just stopping for a second talking about the current situation. So FTM has dumped so much for the simple reason that a so big wallet was liquidated. What does it mean? It means that Scream, in the moment when the health rate is going down to 1, is starting to liquidate partial of the position. So it means that it is taking the FTM and it is going to the market in order to sell them and to retrieve enough money to repay the debt. The problem is that, as you will understand going to Desk Screener, if you try to find FTM, you will see that the whole liquidity inside the pool, the biggest one, it is FTM USDC, has just $81 million inside. So as you can imagine, trying to liquidate something like 40 million into a pool of just 80 million, it is obviously something that will cause a big downside and a big problem into the overall pool. Not to mention that if the price of FTM goes down so fast, a cascade of liquidation events will happen. Many other people will be liquidated because obviously, yes, this wallet is one of the biggest one in terms of how much he has deposited and he is borrowing. But on the other side, many other people were feeling quite safety because at that moment they had something like 1.5 healthy rate. The problem is that if the price goes down as it happened, just to repeat, from the beginning of April, the price has gone down by more than 60%. So it means even if you were having a position that was appearing quite secure, it wasn't, because unfortunately this dump caused this kind of liquidation cascade that can really affect the price. And the main problem is that liquidity into the different pools is so low. Another interesting point about the liquidity of FTM that is demonstrating how low it is trying to compare the liquidity with FTM USDC against FTM Tomb. FTM Tomb has two different pools. The first one on SpookySwap that has inside 53 million, and the other one that is on Tomb Finance that has something like 83 million. So it means an overall 130 million liquidity against just 81 million for FTM USDC, that is the main pair for this industry. And as you can see, the volume into the last 24 hours has gone up by 112 million, just because this cascade of liquidation. So I hope that now you have pretty much clear what happened. If you are wondering if this has come to an end or not, I think that the answer is quite more complex. First of all, yes, right now the amount of FTM that is at risk is lower than the past. So we are not talking anymore about 40 million, but just about 13 million. And the health rate is 1.1. 1.1 is still quite risky. Yesterday was 1.01, so much more risky, and it was quite clear that a liquidation event will be coming. Yesterday the health rate was 1.01, so we're pretty clear that a liquidation event were coming. Going to the chart, as you will see, we have just touched the previous high. This is something that is pretty clear from the chart with the dollar. As you can see, the previous high was broken the 29th of April. But the situation, if you try to compare FTM to BTC, is pretty much similar, but at the same time, it is offering us, in my opinion, a better overview. As you can see, the price has just touched the previous high that were in May and has rebounded just above it. The point is that if this support is not able to resist, that's a big problem, because the next point could be quite lower, even 30-40% lower than where we are right now. In any case, the situation to me is not so desperate, because yes, if from one side that's absolutely true that the price has been falling down by 70, 80, 85% in the last couple of months. On the other side, we have still to remember that we are up by something like 250% from the lower point. So yes, the price has been suffering, but we are still pretty much in positive from the minimum of July. In any case, keep an eye to the chart, because it is quite possible that another liquidation event could happen. Not to mention that all of these liquidation events are causing some kind of congestion into the FTM, the Fantom ecosystem, and also the transaction cost has gone up. So pay attention, because these days will be pretty delicate with the Fantom ecosystem. I personally disagree with this user that is saying that you should move from Fantom to another ecosystem. I still believe that the fundamental hasn't changed. Obviously, it is affecting the short term. If you are trying to speculate into the short term, yes, in that case, it's much better to move your funds from a Fantom to another chain. If you were here just for the long term, in my opinion, the fundamentals hasn't changed. Yes, what happened is the demonstration of how delicate is the overall situation in the moment when we are talking about the DeFi system, because obviously that's not something that is just for Fantom. This kind of liquidation cascade events can affect any chain, and the price impact could be quite important on any chain. What is interesting that has been shared by this user is the story of Rush, the user that caused this kind of liquidation. And I think that is a good case to understand how greediness and arrogance can really be a bad companion for this kind of situation. Because as you will see from this long thread that I will share with you into the description below, so you can check it by yourself, this user has been trying to take advantage from his power for being a whale on Fantom, trying to manipulate the price of different kind of tokens. He created a false pair on Solidly just to receive more rewards. He was trying to manipulate the price of OXD, that was a DAO in the moment when we were talking about the Solidly wars, and he was trying to manipulate the price of many different tokens into the Fantom ecosystem. Unfortunately, at the end of the story, he is paying, because the reality is that yes, he is not losing anything because he is keeping his position on Solidly and Day, but on the other side, that's quite undeniable that being liquidated like this, it will cause an impact by 20-30% of loss, clean loss, net loss on his wallet. So guys, that's the story. Let me know if you're interested on that, because there are another couple of parts that are quite shady that maybe I can share with you if you are interested on it. And let me know. Just write it into the comment section below. And remember guys, leave a big thumbs up and drop a comment. That's just a small effort for you, but really means a lot to me. I will really appreciate it. And on the other side, you are also helping me with the algorithm. So if you do it, I will be more than appreciating and I will be more than grateful. Guys, thank you for following me, and I will see you tomorrow with another video. Bye guys.